General Hospital spoilers tease that Olivia is facing one of the greatest storms of anger and pain in her life after discovering a long-hidden truth. Gio is her biological grandson, the secret son of Brooke Lynn, and Lois, her closest friend and sister from Bensonhurst, is the one who kept that secret from her. At first, Olivia feels confused, as if she's been yanked out of a world she once believed to be stable and safe. For all this time, she lived with the belief that her friendship with Lois was sacred, unshakable, unbreakable by any secret. She cooked with Lois, shared laughs and embraces like they did in the old days, trusting that there was no barrier or distance between them. But now, the truth strikes like a knife to that trust, ripping apart the image of the friend she once relied on with her whole heart. The betrayal Olivia feels is not just about the hidden identity of a child. It's the feeling of having been robbed of the right to be part of a loved one's life, the feeling of being excluded, disrespected, cast out of the family circle by someone she thought would stand by her through every up and down. The years she spent without knowing Gio was her grandson, the moments she could have been a part of his life, all those now become painful voids that nothing can fill. The shock is so great that it shatters Olivia's usual composure. She's no longer the gentle, forgiving woman everyone knows. Now, she's a mother, an aunt, a friend betrayed, walking into a storm of fury and a profound crisis of trust. New obsessions with loss begin to weigh on her mind, turning the pain into a simmering rage, ready to explode at any moment. And what makes everything worse is Lois, rather than being honest, continues to defend the truth with vague reasons about good intentions and protecting Brooke Lynn. To Olivia, these explanations now mean nothing. All the justifications Lois had, whether out of love or fear, become proof of the worst betrayal Olivia has ever faced. She cannot accept that her friend, who had stood by her through the hardest times, would dare control her right to know the truth, especially about family, about blood. Olivia's anger isn't just shown in her words, but in increasingly uncontrollable actions. She begins to avoid Lois, cutting off all conversations, avoiding meals, and even losing her restraint when confronted, ready to lash out with harsh criticisms, pushing Lois to the brink of collapse. The entire town of Port Charles can feel the change in Olivia, from her cold gaze, the firmness in her voice, to her decisive, distant attitude towards those who were once close to her. Olivia's attack on Lois is no longer just an argument between two friends, but the collapse of two worlds that were once united, now divided by lost years. No one in Port Charles can remain neutral, from Brooke Lynn, Ned, to Sunny. They all must face the consequences of this hidden truth. And while everything teeters on the edge of breaking, Gio, the one who knows nothing of the truth, becomes the only ray of light that could possibly calm the storm. But will his presence be enough to heal the rift between two women who once considered each other family? Or will he become the reason this battle rages on until there's no turning back? Olivia and Lois's story is no longer just about a secret being revealed. It's an emotional earthquake shaking the entire Quartermain family dynamic, and no one can be certain what will remain intact after the storm passes. Olivia is now entering an emotional eruption unlike anything she's ever experienced, after the entire truth about Joe's identity is revealed. Learning that Gio is Brooke Lynn's son and her biological grandson not only leaves Olivia deeply hurt but also shatters the entire world of trust, love, and connection she had built over the years. And even more heartbreaking, Lois, her dearest childhood friend and sister from Bensonhurst, was the one who kept this secret. For Olivia, this betrayal is not just about hiding a truth. It's about denying her the right to love, to be present, and to share in the life of a child who is her flesh and blood. She was denied the opportunity to hold her grandson on his first birthday, to be part of the key moments in his life. She's been robbed of everything sacred in a relationship between an aunt and her nephew, a bond she could have nurtured for years. And that is unforgivable. In her rising fury, Olivia has given Lois an ultimatum: leave Port Charles or witness the complete collapse of their once perceived eternal relationship. This ultimatum is no longer an impulsive tantrum, but a decision born from a heart deeply wounded and trust shattered beyond repair. To Olivia, Lois is now like someone who intentionally excluded her from her own family, a calculated action that no amount of explanations could ever undo the pain it caused. But things don't stop at expelling Lois from Port Charles. A new obsession takes hold of Olivia, driving her to exert more control over Joe's future. For her, trust has been broken, and now, if she doesn't directly protect, love, and guide Gio, no one else will do it properly. Olivia begins to doubt Brooke Lynn, Lois's daughter, questioning if she's responsible enough, wondering if someone who once abandoned Gio could continue to hurt him. Olivia even believes that Lois and Brooke Lynn hiding the truth all these years is clear proof they shouldn't be allowed to control the future of the boy. These feelings quickly turn into actions. Olivia demands to be close to Gio and begins to interfere in Brooke Lynn's decisions, from his education, his artistic direction, and even who he interacts with. She becomes increasingly rigid, unyielding, and adamant that only she understands and loves Gio the right way. This sparks a new confrontation between Olivia and Brooke Lynn, pushing their already strained family relationship to the brink. Amidst all the chaos is Gio. A young man who never asked for any of this, now caught in the center of a storm of emotions and power struggles. He has no idea that his existence has sparked such a severe family crisis. Once just a boy who wanted to play the violin and live peacefully, Gio is at risk of becoming a pawn in a battle between his closest family members, one that neither side truly wants to start, but neither is willing to stop. Port Charles is now witnessing a completely different Olivia, no longer the warm, gentle, and forgiving woman, but a mother, an aunt, a woman who will protect what she believes to be justice and family at all costs. But love combined with control can be a double-edged sword. If Olivia doesn't soon realize the line between protecting and imposing, she may be the one to destroy what remains of her family, this time, forever. With Lois on the verge of being expelled from Port Charles, Brooke Lynn caught in a conflict between her mother and Olivia, and Gio trapped in an emotional whirlwind with no way out, General Hospital is setting the stage for a new chapter full of drama, where love and hurt go hand in hand, and every decision could send the family into an unpredictable abyss. Olivia is entering a period of intense tension and upheaval, not only due to the betrayal from Lois and the secrets that have been exposed, but also because she is struggling to maintain her family life, especially as she desperately needs a trusted companion to help care for Leo. This sensitive and vulnerable boy has always been Olivia's top priority, and in the midst of all the chaos, she knows she can't handle everything alone. But when trust in her closest loved ones, like Lois and Brooke Lynn, has been shattered, Olivia starts turning her expectations toward an unexpected person, Gio. Gio, the nephew Olivia has just recently discovered, was initially just a talented young artist with a violin and a free spirit. Now, he stands at a new crossroads. Not in the world of art, but in the realm of family, duty, and responsibility. Olivia, in her hurt and decisiveness, sees in Gio an opportunity to rebuild what she is losing, not just family bonds, but the balance in her life. She realizes that if she can draw Gio closer, keep him by her side, she won't just gain a new family member, but also be able to pass on part of the responsibility in caring for Leo, someone she loves with all her heart. This is not simply a request for help, it's a calculated move, a bold play in the series of changes Olivia is quietly orchestrating. She begins offering Gio benefits that are hard for him to refuse, from opportunities to perform at major events in Port Charles, financial support for his personal music projects, to creating a solid place for him in the Quartermain family if he agrees to become an official part of her and Leo's lives. This is an offer that carries no obligation, but is sweet and alluring enough that Gio can hardly turn it down. However, behind the facade of family connection lies a growing madness. Olivia not only wants Gio to help her care for Leo but also starts seeing him as an emotional heir, a symbol of redemption and rebirth after all the pain she has suffered. If these expectations are left unchecked, they could become a burden on Gio, who is just beginning to understand who he is within a family that is still very much a mess. And as Gio, whether intentionally or unintentionally, becomes more involved in the lives of Leo, Olivia, and the Quartermain family, a new shock is forming. Those who once doubted or distanced themselves from him will now have to face the reality that Gio is becoming an undeniable force, even a new heir in the family's internal power dynamics. This brings about a series of adjustments, from Brooke Lynn's attitude, to Ned's wariness, and the unclear relationship between Gio and other key figures in town. The storyline is taking a new direction as Olivia, with her unhealed wounds, begins to rebuild the future with unexpected calculations. She is not just looking for a supporter, she is attempting to redefine the concept of family by empowering, giving affection, and placing hope in someone she once didn't even know, Gio. And Gio, with his artist's heart, is now inevitably caught in a whirlwind of power, family ties, and obligations that surround him each day. Will Gio accept this opportunity as a gift of destiny, or will he soon realize he is just a part of Olivia's larger plan, a woman willing to do anything to avoid being hurt again? And will Leo, the voiceless child, feel the profound changes that are enveloping him, once peacefully cradled in his mother's arms? Everything is slowly reaching its breaking point. And as all the tensions are stretched tight, Port Charles will witness a new, dramatic chapter, where power, family, and irreversible decisions collide. Olivia and Tracy are officially entering a powerful alliance, and this time, they are no longer staying in the background but are beginning to act openly, decisively, and strategically. After a series of shocks surrounding the family, especially the revelation that Lois hid Joe's true identity, both Olivia and Tracy realize that the time for sitting idly has ended. A major shift is happening in the structure of the Quartermaine family, and they are shaping it in their own way, starting with redefining Joe's role. Lois, who had been at the center of attention when Gio arrived in Port Charles, is now gradually being suffocated by the very secrets she concealed. Olivia no longer holds back any softness toward her old friend, while Tracy, with the experience and political savvy of a true politician within the family, sees this as the perfect moment to turn the tables. When these two powerful women join forces, a large plan is set into motion. Not only to remove Lois from influence within the family, but also to place Gio at the center as a new heir to the Quartermaine legacy. Gio is no longer just a talented young artist with a violin in hand. With Quartermaine blood flowing through his veins, and with increasingly strong support from Olivia and Tracy, he is being groomed for a larger role, a role as an heir, someone who could shift the balance of power that has stagnated within the family. Olivia sees in Gio an opportunity to fix past losses, while Tracy recognizes that this is the time for a new, untainted figure to revitalize the family's public image and business leadership. Lois is being pushed into a weakened position, as all the influence she once held, including her role as Brooke Lynn's mother, is being undermined by Olivia and Tracy's calculated political maneuvers. Every word, every action of hers is now scrutinized, labeled as concealing the truth, irresponsible, or holding the family back. She feels suffocated as even Brooke Lynn begins to show signs of cracked trust, while Gio, the son she tried to protect, is now leaning toward the people she had kept secret from. The power struggle within the Quartermaine house is entering a new phase, larger, more dramatic, and more complicated than ever before. Tracy, with her seasoned instincts, doesn't just want to elevate Gio as a new symbol. She also wants to use him to reshape the leadership structure, eliminating those who no longer fit her modern vision for the family. Olivia, for her part, wants to protect Leo while also reclaiming what she feels has been taken from her by Lois and Brooke Lynn, the right to be a family, to be present, to make decisions. Gio now stands at the heart of a storm. From an outsider, he has become the center of all calculations, hopes, and the flashpoint for unresolved conflicts. The support from Olivia and Tracy grants him privileges, but it also brings a heavy responsibility. Because once he enters this game, there's no turning back. He will have to choose, to become a tool for power ambitions, or truly stand up, take control of his own destiny, and redefine the meaning of family on his terms. Meanwhile, Lois must face the consequences of what she has done, and failed to do. She can continue fighting to maintain her place in Joe's life, but the more she struggles, the clearer it becomes that Port Charles is no longer the old playing field, and the women she once called friends have now become formidable opponents. With factions clearly forming, with Gio at the center, the battle for influence in the Quartermaine family has expanded, reaching the hearts of every member, every generation, and no one will walk away without carrying the scars of this battle. Port Charles is bracing for a fierce season of confrontations, where family ties, power, and honor will clash violently, and only those who understand the rules of the game will survive until the end. Ned is caught in the eye of a whirlwind of turmoil within the Quartermain family, and this time, things are no longer about ordinary arguments, but an emotional earthquake between the two most important women in his life, Lois and Olivia. When the secrets surrounding Gio are revealed, and the truth about the concealed past comes to light, Ned is forced to confront one of the biggest changes in his position, role, and responsibilities, not only as the head of the family but also as the man caught between two worlds, the past and present, honor and emotions, loyalty and trust. Lois and Olivia are heading into an intense showdown, and what was once friendship and familial love is now being twisted by hurt, anger, and a sense of betrayal. Olivia is angry that Lois hid Joe's true identity, depriving her of the right to be a part of his life. She feels shut out, disrespected in the very home she once cherished and protected. Meanwhile, Lois is cornered. Not only because of the past but also by the mounting pressure from Olivia and Tracy, the two women who are increasingly dominating every discussion about Joe's future. And in the middle of this battle, Ned stands as a gatekeeper, trying to prevent both sides from completely collapsing, but the more he tries to hold things together, the more he realizes he is losing control. His relationship with Olivia, the wife he is currently with, is stretched thin, while his emotions for Lois, the mother of his daughter, are stirred once again amidst the chaos. Ned is pulled in both directions, while he himself is facing a deep internal crisis. Who is he in this family, and can he still retain his voice, his respect, or has he been swallowed up by the rising forces? Ned's story is no longer just about being a husband, father, but a mediator, a protector of the Quartermain legacy. He knows that if he doesn't act quickly, if he doesn't find a way to reconcile Lois and Olivia, not only will their emotions shatter, but the entire family structure that has existed for decades will collapse. But to do that, Ned must step out of his comfort zone, confront secrets and feelings that have never been expressed, and make choices that could cost him everything. The explosion between Lois and Olivia is rippling through Brooklyn, through Gio, and even other family members, and General Hospital is laying the groundwork for a new chapter, where Ned must become the glue that holds everything together, or witness his family fall apart piece by piece. This is no longer a personal conflict, but a battle between loyalty, truth, and wounded pride. And Ned, whether he wants to or not, is the one holding the key to the resolution of this storm.